Hey, Onion here, back with Final Fantasy XIV Online. We're going through the main story quests. This is patch 4.4, Prelude to Violence. We got 2 quests that go into a dungeon. I just want to call out, I'm wearing the, 370 bending gear, Poetic, and this is the Dark Knight Sword. I thought it was pretty unique. I get a full samurai set. I didn't recognize it when I went through the game the first time. Yeah, alright, I get started. Thanks for joining.
Oh, Onion. If you've come here hoping for news, I'm afraid there isn't any. Everything is exactly as it was. Y'shtola is still investigating primals in the Far East, Thancred is still gathering intelligence in the imperial provinces, and Alphinaud is still out there somewhere. There's been no word since his first scheduled report, nor does he respond to calls. And all the while, I'm just meant to sit around here waiting. It's driving me mad.
Begging your pardons. I bear a message from the Eorzean Alliance.
Thank the gods for that. We have a visitor. Welcome to the Rising Stones. If you have a message, I should be most eager to hear it.
My lady, the Alliance leadership will soon convene to discuss the matter of Ascian interference, and they humbly request the presence of the Scions of the 7th Dome. Having assessed intelligence provided by the Ala Mhigo resistance concerning the whereabouts of Zenos' remains, they too suspect Ascian involvement, and wish to deliberate a suitable course of action. As the foremost authorities on our foe, your orders council would be most welcome.
Of course, we should be glad to assist in whatever way we can. With almost everyone else afield, I'd say this one falls to us, by which I mean, I'm not going on my own. You'll come with me, I trust? If you would rather not, how do you think I feel? I despise formal occasions, as you well know. But in the absence of Alphinaud and the others, we'll just have to grin and bear it, won't we? Well, there you have it. We accept the invitation.
Thank you. The time and date of the meeting will be shared in due course, but I can confirm that the council will take place in Ala Mhigo. By your leave.
I somehow doubt we'll have anything useful to offer, but standing mutely at a meeting would still be better than the nothing I've been doing of late. Let's make ready to depart, shall we?
Thancred. What's going on, ma'am?
All right. Just be careful on the road back, ye hear.
Did I hear right, real? Is Thancred coming back?
Aye, that he is. Says he's acquired some important intelligence. Being in Garlean territory, though, he couldn't risk sharing the particulars in case the Imperials were listening in. So he said he'd head back as quick as he could, and to make sure someone was waiting for him in the Ala Mhigo quarter.
Understood. Onion and I will go. We're bound for Ala Mhigo anyway, and there's sure to be time before the council begins. Come on, let's be off.
You two are a sight for sore eyes. Now all I need is water for my parched throat. Fetch me a cup, will you? Traipsing through imperial territory is thirsty work.
God, I needed that.
I won't bother telling you to catch your breath. Whatever brought you galloping back to us, I assume it's urgent.
Quite. Without further ado, then. After the successful uprisings in Doma and Ala Mhigo, rebels in several other provinces were inspired to follow suit. Unfortunately, they did not fare quite so well. The Dalmascans paid the heaviest price. For their defiance, the Emperor made a show of razing their capital to the ground. prompting many of their neighbors to abandon thoughts of resistance. But not all have given up on liberty. Heartened by the news of Doma's prisoner exchange, some still believe that the Empire may one day be amenable to negotiation. We have the shinobi to thank for spreading the good word. They have worked tirelessly to keep the subjugated informed, and a little knowledge can go a long way.
There is at least a spark of hope, then.
A spark in want of kindling, yes. The Alliance has already begun supplying materiel to resistance movements abroad, many of whom would otherwise struggle to continue the fight. The support effort has been led by the Sultana and the Elder Seedseer, who have both seen enough Ala Mhigo refugees to know the consequences of oppression. And for their troubles, they have quickly earned a reputation as folk heroes in certain corners of the Empire. That is all for the provinces. As for the Garlean motherland itself, our friends the Populares have suffered something of a setback, I regret to say. Talk is rife that Doma has summoned a primal, and the Empire's more liberal voices are being drowned out in the fearful clamor for retribution.
And who do they think orchestrated this summoning?
Oh, any but those truly responsible. Zenos has seen to that. Speaking of whom, the Crown Prince is recovering remarkably well. Well enough, in fact, to enable him to personally tour the provinces, putting the fear of the Emperor into the hearts of any would-be dissidents.
He walks in plain sight, and none suspect him. Then it's as we feared.
Yes, and Ascian wears his skin. But it was not that which brought me here in such haste. During my time in the provinces, I learned many things. Yet at no point did I hear any report of a Doman emissary in the capital.
But Alphinaud should have arrived by now. Could they be holding in there in secret?
The possibility did cross my mind, but I have reason to believe he never reached his destination. As you know, Scions assigned to covert operations, such as Riol and myself, are issued special link pearls for communication in the event of an emergency. I mention this because it was originally Alphinaud's task to coordinate the response at headquarters, meaning he has one. And whose voice should I hear when mine recently crackled to life?
You spoke with Alphinaud?
Spoke with, no. I but heard his voice, and none too clearly at that. 2 words were all I could make out. The burn.
The wasteland on the edge of Otherd. Something must have happened to them there. There's no time to waste. We must make for the burn at once.
I had a feeling you might say that.
And? I can't very well sit around here drinking tea if Alphinaud's in trouble. You said yourself that this link pill was only to be used in emergencies. So I'm going, and that's the end of it.
Oh, far be it from me to change your minds.
Loath though I am to neglect making preparations for the council, we must act swiftly before Alphinaud's trail goes cold. I propose we first pay Hien a visit. He's sure to want to hear about these developments, and he may well be able to advise us on how best to reach the burn.
A sound plan. And Y'shtola is in Doma, is she not? I dare say she'd join you in the search if you asked her nicely. While you see to all that, I shall go and report my findings to the Alliance. You may leave any preparations for the council to me.
Thank you, Thancred. Right, to Doma, then. We have much and more to share with Y'shtola.
That is curious indeed. While other matters demand my attention at present, I shall bear what you have told me in mind. Should you notice any change, do not hesitate to seek me out.
Thank you, my lady. You are most kind.
Well. 2 phases from the dim and distant past.
Come now, it hasn't been that long. Who was that you were speaking with?
A local miner who supplies crystals for the rebuilding effort. Of late, he claims to have struggled to find a crystal with so much as a trace of elemental energy. Upon learning that I had some knowledge of ether, he came seeking my counsel. Just now he brought me one of his recent finds. It was precisely as he described, devoid of elemental energy, and eerily reminiscent of the de-aspected crystals that manifested in Eorzea in the days prior to the calamity. We would be wise to investigate this phenomenon more closely.
Indeed. But on a more positive note, the locals seem to have taken a liking to you.
More an interest in than a liking to, I think. The sight of a Miko with a peculiar contraption upon her head has a certain novelty value in these parts. Any actual regard they may have for me, I owe wholly to you and the others who came before. Everyone here has been exceedingly cooperative, and I am pleased to report that I have all but concluded my investigation. Simply put, by focusing one's will upon an ether-infused object of worship, it is possible to conduct a summoning.
So, the fact that they are objects of worship is the key. They are themselves suffused with the requisite belief.
Correct. Such sacred relics as the Kojin collect obviate the need for religious fervor in the summoner, Yatsuyu being the most obvious example. She had but to associate the artifact given to her by Asahi with the divine, and it served to amplify her desires and give them form. A form nourished through the power of crystals, also provided by her brother. And thus was Tsukiyomi brought into being. Which brings me to the question of preventative measures, to which I have yet to find a satisfactory answer. At present, I know of naught that will avail us save to keep watch over the movement of relics and crystals. As if we did not have enough to keep watch over already. But I doubt you came all this way to hear that which may be perused in a report. Has something happened to Alphinaud? I shall join you in the search, of course.
Thank you, Y'shtola. I should be glad of your help. Truly. Now, if there's nothing else, I shall go on ahead and request an audience with Lord Hien.
Alisaie puts on a brave face, but she has little talent for concealment. We should join her at the Kiankan.
Lord Hien is expecting you. May I show you in? Greetings, my friend. Alisaie has explained all to me. Needless to say, you shall have our full cooperation in the search. Even if Alphinaud's trail does lead to the Burn, of all places. Onion and I have our yos. Yugathi, will you ready falcons for the others?
I shall gather our swiftest birds. Near the House of the Fierce, there is an overlook. Pray join us there once you have seen to your preparations.
If everyone is here and possessed of a bird, let us away. Remember, our destination is a barren wasteland. There is no civilization to speak of for 100 moms in all directions. Take care you do not lose your way.
Alright, so I wanted to show what happens when you try to go in with the, what are they called? The other party. You get Ken as the samurai tank again, and then red mage and ninja. Switch back to tank. You get Yoshida as the healer. Still red mage and ninja, so they don't change. I think it's just unique that he does the samurai skills as he's playing as a tank. Pretty fun if you haven't done it to see. Right, this dungeon's a little unique. First boss is like the newer dungeon that just came out, the 100. Oh, there's parts where you have to hide. Second boss, a lot of people miss. There's a broken down bot that doesn't run its course, so that's the safe spot. the last boss, I think I've seen more wipes on this one than any other. If you don't kill the ads fast enough, yeah, you get frozen. You get frozen, you get hit. Debuff is pretty strong. The breath, the dragon breath, is also pretty strong. The flower AoEs, people get caught in those, and yeah, it's a lot of wipes. So, all right, I'm going in as tank though, and we're gonna go in with regular party. So, come back when we're in. Oh, already going. All right, here we go.
Make ready, friends! We are come to the burn!
Everyone, land where you can! We must wait out the storm!
And that's why we got in quick. Sorry, I'll be back. Alright, let's try this game with an actual party.
Reinforcements required. Deploying auxiliary drones. Deploying rock biters. Initiating obstacle removal protocol. dragon dissolves into mist. Striking the mist is futile. To do so only incurs the dragon's wrath. Destroy the draconic regards to force the beast to reform. strike now.
Between contending with bloodthirsty beasts and sand in my every conceivable place, I'm quite ready to leave this wasteland. But first things first. Do you see the crashed ship over yonder? Judging by its class, it must be the vessel that bore Master Alphinaud away.
War Machina. It would seem they were involved in a struggle. There may be clues. We should split up and search the area.
There's no sign of Alphinaud, nor of Maxima and his people.
These were no ordinary soldiers. Over here! The insignia on this man's uniform identifies him as one of the Emperor's personal guard.
Hand-picked soldiers, answering only to the royal family.
That would explain why all the casualties are Garlean. They were fighting their own.
You're saying the Emperor was behind all this? That Alphinaud is his prisoner?
Aye, we must not jump to conclusions. Besides, Alphinaud is more than capable of looking after himself, is he not?
I suggest we return to Doma to consider our options. Whatever.
Sorry.
Where in the world are you, brother? If you die on me, I will never let you hear the end of it.
Well, that was a decidedly uneventful journey. I almost found myself hoping for a sandstorm. Joking aside, I'd say our birds are due a good brush down and a treat or two, wouldn't you?
Alright, gonna pause it there. It was a pretty clean run, and get started with the next 5 quests in the next one. Thanks for joining.